Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News with some latest events in Tay Ninh Province. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính shared an unspecific online meeting on COVID-19 epidemic prevention and control with leaders of 6 provinces bordering Cambodia, including Tay Ninh Province, on May 9 at An Giang Bridgepoint.
Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam attended the meeting at the Bridgepoint of the government office in Hanoi. Meanwhile, Standing Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, member of the Party Central Committee, Secretary of the Tay Ninh Provincial Party Committee, and Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, participated in the event in Tay Ninh Bridgepoint. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized that the reality check shows that some localities are still subjective and not proactive in epidemic prevention and control. He directed that in the midst of the complicated development of the epidemic, border localities should tighten the epidemic prevention and control activities on the borderlines in order to form many layers of protection and mutual support. Identified as a high-risk area both on the border and in the inland area, so Tay Ninh Provincial Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control has proposed many measures, in which focusing on resources on preventing and controlling the epidemic spreading across borderlines. Up to this point, 5 border districts and towns of the province have built a multi-layer protection to prevent illegal entry.
The audience then should drastically tighten the management of the borderline, resolutely prevent spread of the COVID-19 epidemic, as well as take measures to prevent the epidemic from breaking out in the community. This is the instruction and Standing Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình at a meeting with the leaders of the Tay Ninh Province on COVID-19 prevention and control in the morning of May 9.
Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, said that along with strengthening and tightening the patrol and control of the border, urging border people to sign commitments not to abet illegal entrance, or offering hot bonus for individuals who promptly provide valuable information for disease prevention and control. The province has also directed to suspend crowded events, unnecessary business services, checking and sanctioning cases in which people don't wear masks when going out on the street, etc. Basically, the prevention and control of COVID-19 epidemic in the province has been maintained effectively. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình said that the whole country has recorded many cases of COVID-19 infection in the community in 29 localities, in which cases of infection have been recorded in the first-line hospitals, so the prevention and control of the epidemic need to give top priority. Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình said that it's necessary to realize regulations on prohibiting crowded activities depending on each locality, follow the motto of 5K, 4 on the spot, go every lane door to door to quickly trace and handle detected cases. In particular, border provinces need to try their best to protect the border well as well as prevent illegal entry. Deputy Prime Minister highly praised the results that the Tay Ninh Province has achieved over the last time. He said that the province shouldn't be subjective, but it must continue to better implement measures to prevent and control the epidemic, especially during the upcoming election of deputies to the National Assembly and the People's Councils at all levels. As part of the working visit to Tay Ninh Province, the government delegation led by Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình made an inspection tour to epidemic prevention and control posts in the borderlines. The delegation visited the ports of Samat International Border Guard Station and Mobile International Border Guard Station. On behalf of the delegation, Deputy Prime Minister Trương Hòa Bình graciously inquired after, encouraged the spirit, and called on the officers and soldiers to actively prevent and control the epidemic for themselves, to strengthen patrol and control, and to be determined to prevent the spread of the infectious disease.
Ladies and gentlemen, in order to widely disseminate the VssID digital social insurance application to the participants of social insurance, health insurance, and unemployment insurance, Tay Ninh Department of Social Insurance is promoting support for the installation of the VssID app with many features and utility for NC departments and people in the province.
With the goal of having 100% participants of social insurance and health insurance using VssID by the end of 2021, the Tay Ninh Department of Social Insurance is implementing propaganda, introduction, guidance, and support activities for people to register electronic transaction accounts, install and use the VssID application. Specifically, the department propagates by various means, provide instructions for installation and use via video clips or directly at the social insurance agency, coordinate with the health sector, medical examination and treatment facilities to use the health insurance card utilities to reduce administrative procedures, shorten the time for medical examination and treatment, and improve the quality of medical examination and treatment covered by health insurance. This is an important step to strongly promote the digital transformation of the social insurance industry in the direction of the Prime Minister, contributing to building a digital government, a digital country, and effectively implementing Resolution number 28 of the 12-Party Central Committee on Reform of Social Insurance Policies. Candidates for the election of deputies to the National Assembly recently met with voters in communes and wards of Hoa Thanh town in order to exercise the right to campaign for the election. The candidates presented their action plan on socio-economic development, maintaining socio-political security, contributing to perfecting the legal system, creating a legal corridor for the country's socio-economic development. The issues presented by the candidates are also related to the construction and investment attraction of commercial and urban development projects, free legal consultancy support for the poor and disadvantaged people, social security policy, epidemic prevention and control, gender equality, and the fight against child abuse, etc. The voters unanimously agree on the action plan and commend the aspiration to candidates, especially the issue of attracting investment in economic development of transport infrastructure, building clean water plant, waste treatment plant, turning Hoa Thanh town into a third-grade city.
The audience, in order that all voters can fulfill their rights and obligation for the election of deputy to the 15th National Assembly and the People Council at all levels for the 2021-2026 term, the electoral register has been done carefully. The Commune and Town Election Commission and electoral teams in the province continuously adjust and update the process list.
The localities have made statistics and developed the electoral roll for all citizens with permanent register in the areas with the birthday from May 23, 2003 or earlier, except for those who aren't entitled to vote as prescribed by law. As of April 13, the communes, wards, and towns of 9 districts, towns, and Tay Ninh City have completely posted up the list of voters at police stations and at the headquarters of the Commune People's Committee and control houses in accordance with the law on election of deputies to the National Assembly and People's Councils. We have assigned our staff to the sites where the electoral rolls are posted so that we can immediately adjust the electoral roll upon petition. We've also widely disseminated on district and town radio stations for voters to take off their names. The closer the election day comes, the work in the communes is busier. The atmosphere in the hamlets and wards are bustling. Polling stations have been repaired. Members of the electoral team and the commune authorities regularly review the number of voters in the area. Thanh Dong Commune has basically reviewed 100% of the voters. Our locality now has 8,465 voters, including over 3,000 permanent voters. We are continuing to review the remaining steps to ensure the voters' rights in accordance with the election regulations. All voters will go to the polls on May 23, 2021. The Ninh Provincial Election Commission urged the election commissions of localities to regularly monitor and review the electoral roll to promptly adjust, remove, and complete the list. The election commissions also need to carefully prepare favorable conditions for voters in remote areas to participate in the election day, ensuring the interest of all voters.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for sharing with us and see you next time.